but I just, like
Yeah,
sometimes
but
when
like my actual question is why podcasting, bro? Because you could get
why?
a lot of things.
Because I just feel like Yo, what's up? This is your boy Postman, and you're tuned in to the Forever 6 podcast, hosted by your boy, and welcome to the latest edition of the pod. Let's get in. Throughout all the talking, the conversations, everything we've had, now the important part, the execution, is finally here.
Yeah, bro, it's about time now we start, making a move.
Yeah, but this isn't the first episode though. It's like the edition.
When's it dropping though? Have we ever talked about that?
I mean, I think I wanted to like drop the first episode, I think towards the end of July. But I think yeah, as time goes on, I'm not in a rush. Like creatively I'm not in a rush. Like I know what I want.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, this is not something I'm trying to rush.
I guess you've already answered my first question without me even asking what brings us here. The podcast, obviously, right?
Yeah, obviously it's the podcast, but I mean, I think primarily more than anything, it's what I wanted to do for myself, and just to like tell everyone about the podcast and like why we're doing it, and yeah, just have fun with it, I guess.
All right. So, bro, aside from the podcast thing, you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, like your background, your, stuff like that, where you're from,
I mean,
kind
okay,
of child you were?
I think I can answer that, but I mean, yeah, I think everyone listening to this more or less knows everything about me. But I mean, for those who don't know, I mean,
Yeah, it's gonna get to the ears of
so
the
my
people.
name is Kelani Litlalo, and yeah, so I just go by the name of Postman for some odd reason. Started in grade 8 and just ran with it from high school and stuff. So
Oh, yeah, Postman.
yeah, and
Been
then
a while. You got
yeah,
that name in what grade?
grade 8, and then I mean,
Do people use it though when they call
yeah,
you?
they do. Some call me Post, some call me. I mean, like I just growing up, I just like had a thing with Post Malone, and
Oh shit.
but that's not where I got the name from. I got the name
Yeah.
from telephone calls by A$AP Rocky. So he just says ring, 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 Postman.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we can play it, but we can't actually because of like
Yeah.
the rights and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
So those who don't know will have to go to A$AP Mob's album.
So, bro, Postman. I think I'm gonna start calling you Postman, bro. Do you have a name for the podcast? Have you already have that pod out?
I mean, yeah, I think the initial name for the pod was I think it was called the Orange Room.
Oh shit.
No, Orange what? Something about orange. I think orange
Was the room actually gonna be orange?
nah. It's called I wanted to call it the Orange Overall Podcast because I think the conversations I used to have with like my friends,
Yeah.
they would like probably
Be about oranges.
nah, no. I think you see the uniform in prison.
Yeah.
So
Oh
like
shit.
the idea was that like the conversations I used to have with like my friends at school
Yeah.
were just like way too controversial and like would probably end up in prison. So
Oh shit.
so basically everything I used to do with like my friends was more or less like a pod. It's just that it was never recorded.
So that name was like the initial.
Yeah.
What's the current name?
It's called the Forever 6 pod. So
How did it come about?
I mean, I think Forever 6 is just like a thing that's like rooted to me. Like I think I called it Forever 6 because of like the connection I have with like my family, the emotional connection with like my family. So like
Okay.
everything is just about the number 6 for like my mom was like born on the 6th of May.
Okay.
I was born on the 6th of Jan.
Okay.
My brother was born on the 16th of August.
There's still 6 there.
So exactly. And
There's a
then
lot of 6s.
my brother was like born on the 2nd of June, and June just happens to be the 6th month of the
Okay.
year.
Okay.
And then with
Oh,
my
shit.
dad is like born on
How
the
did you
9th
figure that out?
of
though?
October. And obviously when you flip the 9, it's now a 6.
Oh shit.
So it's like,
Alright,
forever 6,
Forever six.
So yeah, so it's like,
So you're gonna have Drake in the podcast because he's got an album like about 6. What's it? Forever Six or Six God, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think it has some connotation towards like Canada and stuff. But if God allows, I'm not really interested in having Jake on my pod right now because I'm like, a small fish.
So
You know.
let me ask you this, bro, because like we live in a digital world right now. That means we have a lot of podcasts. Like everyone is thinking of making a podcast.
Yeah.
And in order for someone, for someone's podcast to be successful, it has to be like outstanding. You gotta like offer something that nobody else offers. So what about you? What are you offering?
I think
that other people are
more than
offering?
anything, like I've just been like consuming a lot of podcasts, and I just feel like there's so much that I can like I don't know how to put it. Like there's so much that I can do that they're doing, but I just feel like I can probably do it a bit better.
Solidify it.
Yeah, like with my own version. And I mean, because I watch like the McG podcast, I watch the
I like it.
Joe Biden, the Rory and Mal.
Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan too. So basically those are like the people that like may have had like a say in this whole entire space, and they've like laid the blueprint. So basically every pod that's followed or coming after them is basically like, looking at them and so yeah. There's a few I don't like though, because I mean, I just feel like when you're gonna do something like this, whereby basically you're just feeding content to the people, I just feel like you need to put in like
teach people
effort and also like
change lives.
Not necessarily change lives, but like people must just come onto this platform to actually learn something.
Yeah.
So I think the part that's like really like the heart of this whole entire pod is obviously like research, So yeah, I think that's what matters most, to be honest.
Okay, that was cool actually, because now I'm listening to you and I'm thinking like most podcasts, they like the Joe Rogan podcast for instance, he's talking about psilocybins, LSDs, like different types of drugs. Do you think you're ever going to talk about shit like that?
I mean, there has to be like a situation that like pushes me to actually talk
like
about
a trendy kind of.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm always willing to learn new things, so it's obviously going to be a platform whereby we have different people and so, but it's just not just going to be boxed into like
a specific
topic or situation or whatever it is that you want to call it, but it's just going to be like about everything happening in real time.
Out of all the things we've talked about, bro, we've never actually talked about like when's the first episode dropping? Like when is it dropping, bro? Like I'm sure I'm not the only one that's eager like on this episode, bro. You've been postponing it like for as long as I can remember.
I mean, obviously like the it's for now just building like the anticipation for it and
like marketing side of things.
Not really that. I'm not interested in that right now, but I mean,
getting it out there.
Yeah, just getting it out there. So I mean, I think I can't actually put a date to it, but I think towards the end of July.
We can expect it around
You can
July.
expect it. I'm not saying it's going to actually be out on that day or date or whatever. So,
but it's definitely going to be somewhere around July.
Yeah, towards the end though.
Not beyond July.
I mean, it's life, It may cross over beyond, because I don't even know when this is going to drop. So, yeah.
So, bro, I'm really curious on why podcasting, because you could have been like, I don't know, man. You could have been a rapper. You could have been a DJ. You could have did a lot of things. You could have been a doctor.
I mean, come on. Like I'm still. I love saying because there's like this video I just keep on watching.
All right.
This guy it's like a meme of some sort, but he just keeps on saying I mean. So it's like a part of me now. But to answer your question, I mean, I just feel like the only reason why I'm not into like rapping or whatever is because I can't necessarily rap.
Yeah.
I have an ear for music, but I just, like sometimes
Yeah, but
when,
like my actual question is why podcasting, bro? Because you could have
why?
did a lot of things.
Because I just feel like I'm a very interesting person, and I love to like ask a lot of questions, and I think every conversation that I have with different people is like a podcast. It's just not recorded.
Oh shit!
It's just
Yeah.
not recorded. It's not on
That's
platforms, because I do have interesting conversations with different types of people.
Okay.
So I think if I record that, then I can actually change someone's life, and
Yeah.
can also like grow and learn and teach each other like new things, so yeah.
Okay. So have you ever like thought of this podcast like in the long run? Because I believe in thinking forward. So like in 5 years, where do you see this podcast? Like,
I think in 5 years I should be able to like negotiate a deal with like
bigger dogs.
yeah, like I think Spotify, but I mean it's gonna take a long time. Like 5 years is actually a long time, but I'm prepared to like face all the troubles that's gonna come, and yeah, I guess. But I mean, I'm just gonna be there. I'm just always gonna be there,
Okay.
and 5 years is just around the corner, and I mean, I'm still young anyway.
Yeah, we got a lot of time on our hands, bro.
Nah, you don't really have a lot of time, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But in 5 years' time, I should be able to say that I've done something for the platform and for myself as well. So yeah.
All right. So when do you think you're gonna start, or when do you want to start monetizing this whole podcast idea?
I mean, for me, like, I'm just far from the money right now, because I'm just like, I know how long it's gonna take for me to actually start monetizing. So I think the only thing that's driving this whole idea right now is like the passion for like this whole thing, It's not really about the money. Come on. Because I just feel like if you're chasing the money without the passion, then you're doing it for the wrong
Kind of
reasons.
lose track at some point.
So yeah. So if I'm doing it for the money, then chances are in 5 years I won't be around, because
Okay.
it's gonna actually take a long time for me to actually monetize.
But as much as you're not doing it for the money, you have to, like, I mean, they say, what is it saying? There's this expression that people say, oh, if you know, what does it say? Like, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. You know that expression?
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell
Because-
if I'm actually good at this. So
Okay.
it's basically
because
a
at some
gamble.
point, you're gonna have to start monetizing.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube or whoever's gonna pay me is gonna pay me.
Yeah.
But I'm not just in a rush for that,
Okay, I
Yeah.
understand that. So, like in 5 years, obviously, I think it'll already be successful. That's if you're consistent with the content and you continue doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, you did. So, which celebrity can we expect to see? I already talked about Drake. I think that's in the long run.
I mean, I think throughout like the country, or in the country, I'm looking at I think my favorite, aka like, I'd love to have him on this platform, but I just think I need to establish myself.
Find him interesting?
Yeah, like I just need to establish myself first, and then actually have him on the pod. But I mean, I do find him interesting from like a very young age.
Do you have a specific question that you've always wanted to ask him? Like something you've always been like curious about
Yeah, like
him?
I just want to know about the kind of risks that he took to get to where he is, because I just think like a lot of people just take the risks and the, I don't know, the negative comments or the backlash that comes with like your artistry and like
Cancel culture and shit.
yeah, all of that. So I just feel like he's been through so much, and he's just got so much to say, and
Strong guy.
yeah, and he just doesn't do a lot of interviews, unless he's like fucking with you. So
Okay.
yeah, I think I am someone who's like fuck withable, if that's a word. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to have my guy there.
I'd like to see that episode. So, bro,
Praying for it.
what or who actually inspired this idea? Was it a person? Was it maybe, I don't know, like, what was it?
I mean, to begin with, I don't even watch TV, so
Yeah, we got that in common.
I don't watch TV. I just consume a lot of pods, and
A lot of internet.
so I think that, like watching Joe Biden, Joe Rogan on Spotify, he's actually, I think, the only guy who has like a visual podcast on Spotify.
Who, Joe Rogan?
Yeah, and it's kind of like interesting. And Mac G
He's
as
the
well.
only person.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Mac G as well. I wouldn't say, like, I stand to be corrected, but yeah.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because that's what I've seen.
Yeah. I've seen it too. No, not from anyone else's.
Mac G as well. He's like doing a great job for the country right now. And
yeah, he's like the biggest podcast
in Africa, actually.
Africa, yeah.
So basically,
that's crazy, bro.
I think I should be there in the next 5-10 years,
Nah, 10
years,
long, 10.
But I mean, I'm not rushing anything. So like, those are like kind of people that like inspired this whole idea. And
the Joe Rogans.
Yeah, the Joe Rogans of this world, the McGee's,
McGee's actually my favorite. Like in terms of like local, I don't think there's anyone out there that's doing it like he does it.
I think Joe Biden does it way better than he does.
Not like, I mean, like local.
Yeah, locally we don't have a lot that are actually out there.
I think it's only him actually.
Yeah, it
makes sense why he's the.
Yeah, and I even watched the DJ's podcast. It's kind of interesting. It's called.
He's got a podcast as well.
Yeah.
Who's this guy? He also got a podcast. This Slicker on Life.
Yeah. So he's doing so much for the hip hop community, and there's even one for hip hop as well. It's called Popcast.
But Mac G is kind of like the
he's
podcast
like
head.
The Lord in real life. Yeah, he's like the Lord in real life, So I think he's just doing his thing, and we just need to support him. And he's not like gatekeeping the community, because even Ricky had a podcast at some point.
Mikado.
Yeah, R.I.P. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, R.I.P. the dog. He used to be my favorite rapper. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, man. I just needed to do this so that people can just like learn a bit more about me and the pod actually. So
I'm already a fan, bro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pre-save it, and I hope everybody out there pre-saves it as well. Is it gonna be on not SoundCloud? I mean,
it's gonna be on all platforms actually.
Yeah, but SoundCloud is for rappers. It's gonna be on
Spotify.
All the
basically
DSPs.
all the DSPs available to actually appreciate our content. It's gonna be there. So
does it have a like, where can people find, because like I think your personal life and the whole podcasting thing, those are like two different worlds in a way. So is it gonna have like social media accounts? Like, are you gonna have
there is an actual like social media account. Yeah, it's called the Forever 6 network. So it's under the network. So it's like a network is basically like a bunch of other things that we're gonna be doing.
So that's where.
But the pod is just like
that's where we're gonna find you. Okay.
Twitter.
You on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. The account is. This is kind of booming, because I'm always on the ground on Twitter. Follow me at the Boy Postman. Facebook, not available. If I'm there, it's a scam. Don't follow that account. Instagram, the Boy Postman. WhatsApp, don't call me. So I think that's about it. Because I mean, there's even a few brands that I'd like to shout out. Like, I like to shout out my friend's brand. It's called. Forgot what it's called.
You want to share?
But just like my guy has a brand. He's doing his thing, and.
That's not a shout out, bro. We don't even know the name of the brand.
I do actually.
You don't. You do, but you forgot it.
I do, but okay. And then I also like to shout out my other friend. He's like a DJ. And I also like to shout out my nigga Jacoby. He's doing his own thing right now. And Crystal C. She's dropping some shit soon. And I mean, also just like stay on the lookout for some of my music reviews, because I mean like I love music so much. And
it's so the podcast is like the majority of the content that you're gonna feed the people is gonna be a lot of music. It's gonna be based on a lot of music updates, Not only that though, I know, but the music part is like the
Yeah, I
magic.
think the only thing that inspired the podcast is particularly music. So it's actually a musical podcast, and
Okay.
yeah. So I think, oh yeah, my guy has a brand, and as I was saying, I'm actually looking at it right now. It's called
Checking it out.
Baiguhle. So
What's it called? Let me see.
Baiguhle. So yeah, he's doing like some jeans and stuff, and yeah, he's some dope content coming soon. And also, my guys are actually doing some mega sound generators. So basically, they just like hire out speakers for, you know, events and stuff, you know,
Okay.
like all that stuff that you need for an event. So check them out too at Mega Sound Generators. And yeah, shout out to everyone who's supporting me, and yeah, appreciate the love, man. Yeah, here's the first edition. Thank you so
y'all.
much.